I used to think time was infinite, that I could just sleep in, play video games, scroll on my phone for hours, and somehow everything would still work out. I told myself I was just relaxing, that I had time to figure things out later. But the truth was, I was hiding from expectations, from failure, from even trying. 16 years old, and already I felt tired of everything. School bored me. My parents' voices blended into the background like static, and each day felt like a loop I couldn't break. Every morning I'd wake up late, skip breakfast, rush to school, and barely stay awake through classes. I'd sit in the back, hoodie pulled over my head, ignoring the world. Teachers gave up on calling on me. My friends stopped inviting me out because I always said no. It was easier to stay in my room with my games and my phone, where nobody expected anything from me. But slowly, that easy life started to rot. My grades dropped so low that even I couldn't ignore them. My dad, who used to just sigh in disappointment, finally lost it one night and shouted at me about throwing my life away. I didn't argue. I just stared at the floor, numb. Then, one day after class, I was called into the counselor's office. They said I had to do mandatory after-school cleanup for a month because I'd failed too many assignments. Not detention, but community service in school. I didn't even care enough to be angry. I just nodded and left. That afternoon, when everyone else left, I stayed. I was handed a broom and told to meet Mr. Thompson in the supply room. He was the janitor, gray hair, worn-out boots, and eyes that felt like they saw through you. He didn't talk much, just showed me how to sweep, mop, and wipe the desks. It felt ridiculous at first. Me cleaning classrooms, like some punishment. I dragged the broom lazily, sighed loudly, hoping he'd say I could leave early. But he didn't. He just worked silently beside me. The kind of silence that wasn't empty but heavy, like it was waiting for something. The first day, I did the bare minimum. He didn't complain. He just nodded once when I left. But something about the way he moved, the way he took time to clean even the corners nobody noticed, it stuck with me. I didn't understand why yet, but I would. The second day felt just as pointless. I showed up half asleep, dragging my feet through the halls, expecting Mr. Thompson to be annoyed or lecture me. But he greeted me the same way he had before, with a small nod, then handed me the mop. No words, no pressure, just quiet expectation. It unsettled me more than if he'd yelled. He cleaned with a kind of rhythm, like he wasn't just doing a job, but tending to something that mattered. I didn't get it. It was just dust and garbage. Why did he care so much? Why did he move like each movement had a purpose? By the third day, he spoke. Just a few words. How you do one thing is how you do everything. I looked up, confused. He didn't explain. He just continued scrubbing a window until it gleamed. That line stayed with me. The way I sleep through my alarms, ignore my homework, play video games like my life depended on it. Was that who I was becoming? Someone who only gave energy to the easiest things and gave up on the rest. We didn't talk much, but he started giving me small tasks. Clean the windows, straighten the desks, make sure the supplies were in order. At first, I rushed through them, but he would gently point out what I missed, not to scold me, but to show me. His patience irritated me. It also humbled me. One day I asked him why he cared so much about cleaning, about doing it right. He stopped what he was doing, sat on a desk, and said, "Because I used to waste time too, thought I had forever." until life reminded me I didn't. He didn't go into detail. He didn't need to. I could see it in his eyes. Regret, maybe. Or wisdom. Or both. After that, I started showing up 5 minutes early. I didn't even realize it at first. I just felt calmer when I was there. Like the world slowed down. Like someone finally saw me. Not as a failure, but as a person who could do something right, even if it was just mopping a hallway. My parents noticed too. My mom said the house seemed quieter without me arguing all the time. My dad left a note on my door one morning. It just said, "Proud of you. Keep going." I stared at it for 10 minutes. I kept it in my wallet. Mr. Thompson never praised me, but every time he handed me a task, it felt like trust, and I didn't want to break that. Weeks passed, and what started as punishment became the part of the day I looked forward to most. After school, while others rushed home, I stayed behind, cleaning, fixing, arranging. Mr. Thompson's presence never demanded anything loud, but it spoke volumes in how he moved, how he worked, and how he treated each task with dignity, like time itself mattered more when you respected the little things. I began applying that same quiet care to other parts of my life. I started doing my homework, not because I loved it, but because I realized that the feeling that came after finishing something was better than the guilt of avoiding it. I made a schedule. I deleted most of the games from my phone, even started going to bed earlier. None of it was dramatic. I didn't suddenly become a genius, but for the first time I didn't feel like a ghost in my own life. One Friday I asked Mr. Thompson why he stayed at the school so late every day. He was old. He could have retired years ago. He simply said, "Some people wait their whole life for meaning. Others find it in doing what needs to be done." That hit me harder than any motivational speech ever could. Years passed. I graduated. My grades weren't perfect, but I turned them around enough to make it to a small college. I kept my habits. Discipline stayed with me. I still woke up early. I still cleaned up after myself. And I still remembered those quiet afternoons with Mr. Thompson more than anything I learned in textbooks. Eventually, I decided to become a teacher, not because I had all the answers, but because I knew how lost a young person could feel when no one believed in them, and how one person, one silent, steady guide, could change everything. I went back to the school one day long after I'd left, walked the same halls, found the same old supply closet, but Mr. Thompson had retired. No one knew where he'd gone. It was like he vanished, having done what he came to do. So, I sat on a bench outside and watched the students rush out, backpacks swinging, voices loud. I smiled. I had been one of them once, lost, angry, wasting time like it would wait for me. But now I understood. Time doesn't wait, and it doesn't turn back. In love, in life, in growth, it's the unnoticed moments, the quiet ones, that shape us most. If we let time slip away, we're not just losing minutes. We're losing who we could become. If this story touched you in any way, leave a comment below. Let others know they're not alone in their struggles. Like, share, or subscribe if you want more stories that remind us what really matters.